Okay, here I am with my 2014 Civic Si, and I haven't made an update video on this car in quite a while. The last time I did so was, I think, about 30,000 miles. So let's take a look around it and just see what's happened in that time. Okay, we'll start at the front here, and since you guys last saw it, I did buy some more yellow fog light bulbs. I installed those a couple months ago. The set that I first put in burnt out rather quickly, so I just replaced them with some regular halogen bulbs I found at the auto parts store. But I finally put the yellow ones back in and bought some off the internet a few months ago. Got those put in. I had the fog light surrounds replaced under warranty probably about a year after I bought the car. Actually, not quite a year, I guess, just because they weren't staying on very well, and so they had been working just fine ever since. A couple weeks ago, one of them actually popped off on the driver's side, and I just ran over it, so so I'm just gonna let them fall off and not replace them. They're like 30 bucks each, and if they're just gonna fall off every single time, that's kind of pointless to spend that money. So then we'll come around to the side here. I actually plastic dipped the wheels today. I'm not super pleased with the way that they turned out. It was kind of cold out. It was about 20 degrees, and I thought, you know, if I keep the cans of dip inside, they'll probably be okay. I brought them out this morning with my wheels, and it just wasn't working out like I thought it would. The first couple coats went on pretty well, but after that it just got really splotchy, and it was hard to get coverage on the wheels. So the right side here is much better than the other side. I'm not sure why these two wheels turned out so well, but they're already starting to chip along the edges. I put them in the back of the CRV to take them to work where I had the car, and they must have rubbed a little bit when we were going around corners and whatnot. And so it's starting to peel up in just a couple places here on these wheels, but I really like the way they turned out otherwise. They give it a really good look, I think, and so you'll notice the emblems are still chrome. So one really cool thing about these wheels is that the center caps are black, as you can see. So I took the wheel off and I just popped off the center cap, and I just threw it in the car while I had the vehicle up on the lift. And I took the wheels home with me last night after work, plastic dipped them this morning, and brought them back to work where the car was. And I popped the center caps back on, put the wheels on, and then I hand tightened the lug nuts, and I let the vehicle down until the tire just started to hit the ground, and then I torqued them all down to 80 foot-pounds. So they're looking pretty good, I guess. On this side, it's okay, but the other side is a little bit worse. So we'll go over there, and so you can see there's some issues here along the edge. I didn't get it covered very well here, and I didn't notice that until I was done. And then it's starting to rub off here, and there's some spots here where it's pretty thin, and you can actually see the metal showing through a little bit up here too, which is kind of disappointing. But I figured it'll at least show me what it looks like, and then if I want to go back and redo it better, I can just wait till it warms up outside, and I can just take them off individually and do it. So I figured it would be at least a good start just to see if I even like the look of it. You know, why waste hours of prep and spraying time if I'm not even going to like it? So now that they're all black, if I want to go back and change it, I can do each one individually. Under the hood here, I painted the intake cover silver to match the K20A3 engine on the 8th Gen SI. Apart from that, everything else is the same as before. Now that I know how to take off this cowl up here, I think I'm going to paint that plastic cover up there red, so I think that'll give it a nice look, and it'll match the other red pieces over there. I took the oil this morning. I changed it about 4,400 miles ago, and it was still at the top mark. So I know some of the older 9th Gen SIs actually had some issues with oil consumption, but that's not an issue here. So I'm probably going to change the oil here in a couple thousand miles. I like to do anywhere from 5,000 to 7,500. And I'm actually due for a tire rotation here in about 500 miles. I've got the Continental Extreme Contact DWS, and I'm not sure if we can see it on this one here. So it's hard to see here because the wheel's not turned, but on these tread blocks here they have the D and W and S, and you can find out more about what those mean elsewhere online, but the S is just starting to wear off on the front ones. The back ones are about the same tread depth, but they are just slightly thicker. The S's are still pretty visible on the back ones. So I went 7,100 miles between rotations last time, so I'm going to do about 7,000 this time, which leaves me with about 500 miles left, and I'll rotate them again. Here on the inside, these plastic pieces here over on this panel and then above the HVAC were chrome, so I actually removed those and I plasti dipped them red, just in case I ever wanted to go back to the stock look. I could just peel it off. And then I went over it with like a gloss clear coat, so I think it looks really good actually. It matches the piping on the doors pretty well. It's almost exact, so I really like that. And I bought some plaid fabric and I covered up the center console here, just wrapped it here with the fabric. So I'm going to do the same to the armrests on the doors so it all kind of matches. So I now have 48,041 miles on this car, so definitely quite a few more miles than the last update video I made. And if we go into the iMade screen here, put you right there. Let's see, my oil life is at 60%. I actually changed the transmission fluid again about 3,000 miles ago, so it only went 15,000 between changes. I did the first one at 30,000. I took it into the dealership, but here at 45,000, I did it myself, and it was just starting to shift really notchy. And I thought I'm going to change it because I had done some pretty hard shifting accidentally, and so I just wanted to make sure it didn't have any metal shavings in it. And if it did, I wanted to get that fluid out of there. So I changed it myself, and it was super easy. I actually have a DIY write-up on the 9th Gen Civic forum, which I'll post a link to. I put the stock knob back on, and I just like the thicker feel of it, so I'll probably put the leather one back on here in the summer when it gets hot, because this metal knob gets super hot in the summer, so it's nice to have the leather on there, and I believe I got it in the glove box somewhere. Yeah. There it is. So it's not quite as big around as the stock knob, but being all leather on this side, it's definitely easier to shift in the summer when the car's been sitting outside all day. So I bought these wipes here for the screen, and I haven't had a chance to try them out yet. So hopefully they work pretty well. If anyone has those and have used those in their car, let me know how they work. So let's go into the back seat real quick, and we'll finish up. And one other quick thing here is I got this 9th Gen Civic sticker here. I bought that online from the 9th Gen Civic forum. So I'm on the forum, and I like to browse quite a few things out there. So I thought, you know, I'll stick that on there just in case anyone else on the forum happens to see my car. And then here in the back seat, it's a complete mess. So I just want to go over a couple things real quick. So I got this plastic bin at Walmart for a couple bucks, and I thought this would be really useful for working on my car. Because whenever I go to work on my car, I take it to work on Saturday, put it up on the lift and everything. It's super easy, and it makes working on it actually pretty simple. So I thought, you know what, I'll just buy a big plastic bin like that so I can throw everything I need in there, my tools, whatever supplies I'm bringing, I can just throw it in here, and it'll be much easier to carry. So it's working out pretty well so far. Then I've also got a Craftsman torque wrench here. I got this for Christmas. It's a 1/2-inch drive, and the torque goes from 20 foot-pounds to 120. So I've used it a little bit so far. I used it when I put on the splash guards, as you can see there on the bottom of the car. Also got those for Christmas. And I used it when I torqued down the wheels here after putting those back on today. So it's working pretty well. And I've got a couple more road trips coming up here next month. So we'll see how the car does. So far, everything is great, and I'm still enjoying it here at 48,000 miles.